During this deployment, the company earned a meritorious unit commendation. They completed 37 enduring construction missions on numerous forward operating bases, with over 100 individual construction missions completed. In 2018, the company was relocated from Gladstone and Marquette, Michigan, to Traverse City, Michigan, making the unit the only 107th Engineer Battalion company to be located below the Mackinac Bridge in history. In 2020, the 1430th Engineer Company responded to civil unrest in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where they supported municipal activities and secured looted businesses and buildings in conjunction with local, state, and federal law enforcement officials. In 2021, the company deployed to Washington, D.C. to support Operation Capitol Castle, to secure the Capitol building area where they conducted numerous security missions. In the spring of 2025, the 1430th was called into action for ice storm response. Due to the location of the natural disaster, the 1430th was the first engineer asset to respond with heavy debris and clearing equipment. Soldiers from the 1430th, working with the DNR, cleared over 50 miles of obstructed roadways, communication towers, and open roadways to transformer stations. The 1430th Engineer Company has supported multiple ODT missions overseas as well: Honduras in 2008 and Liberia in 2018. The 1430th Engineer Company remains a ready and reliable engineering force for the Michigan National Guard and the United States Army, prepared to build and sustain wherever the mission requires. Never failing to answer the call, the 1430th deploys today to provide assistance to the federal government along the Texas-Mexico border in order to support U.S. Northern Command Southern Border Operations. In keeping with military tradition, senior leaders will address the formation prior to its departure to express their trust and confidence in the unit's ability to accomplish their mission. With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce Brigadier General Ravi Waugh, the Assistant Adjutant General of the Michigan National Guard.
Good morning, everybody. Hear me okay? Orange jacket? Okay, good. Hey, I first want to say thanks to Western Michigan and for the ability to host this event here, home of the 2025 National Champions D1. It's pretty incredible that they've opened up their facility to us, and we appreciate this community engagement and support as always. I really want to say thanks to the families. This discussion today and why we do this, it's really two purposes. This group of folks right here are soldiers and the people that got them here. The family, the immediate, the extended, the community that put that soldier in uniform. And that's all of you. And I know there's a whole bunch of people that aren't here. This unit, where they're stationed, where they come from, if you look on the map, it's upper and lower, and it's all over. And I know that a lot of you drove a long way to get here, so thanks. And thanks for what you do to support us as your guardsmen in your communities. It's an honor to stand here today before the men and women of the 1430th Engineer Company. You can see it up on the big screen. These are soldiers of grit, skill, and character, and they prove it time and time again. And I want to say thanks to all of you soldiers as you prepare once more to go forward and answer your nation's call. You are the best of the Michigan Army National Guard, and you've proven that, and we heard that in part of the lineage. These soldiers have been on state missions, internal with the ICE response and others in the past 4+ years, in addition to all the things they do overseas. And the things that you see that they do, and really the work you don't see, all the things that it takes to get us here, our leaders to get them here and get them into the right place in the right uniform in the right time. It's a unit with a lineage that stretches deep into the heart of this state and the nation, and across more than a century of service to the United States. And now you soldiers here standing here today, you're going to continue that story with a new chapter in that long line of duty that began way before any of us even thought about putting on a uniform. And for a couple of us up here, that's 30 plus years in uniform. Over 100 years ago, in 1917, soldiers from the Michigan Army National Guard were called to the southwest border, not unlike you are here today. I think that's an important historical fact and some context that these are things we do as we talk about homeland defense in our role, which is dual-hatted as guardsmen to our state and to our nation. In those early days, our nation was uncertain and uneasy. Trouble on the border, unrest at home, and a world on the brink of war. Yet the Michigan National Guard stood ready. Those soldiers deployed to Texas and to New Mexico, and they patrolled harsh desert landscapes and secured our frontier at the time. And that was a time when the world was rapidly changing. And they were not there for the glory. They went there because their country needed them. It's a common theme that you're going to see when you talk about service to our community, to our state, and to our nation as guardsmen. They went because the Guard is made up of citizen soldiers, just like you see right here. People who live in Michigan, work in Michigan, and spend their time raising their families here in Michigan. All of us are part of your communities. We live in this and we're in it together. They answered the duty when duty called. And I can tell you their service is consistent with the Guard's motto of always ready, always there. They never ask a question. They salute and they move out. So soldiers here in the unit, when you step off the bus and your boots hit the dust of the borderlands, just remember you're walking in the footsteps of those who wore this uniform more than a century ago. You're the living link in the chain of service, Michigan's guardians at the gate. The 1430th has built more than roads and bridges and buildings over these past decades of service. They built trust. Trust in one another, trust in the profession of arms, trust in their craft, and in the communities in which you serve. From Iraq to Afghanistan, Liberia, Latvia, hurricane relief, flood responses, your company's always delivered, and that's your legacy. When the nation needs something built, defended, or restored, 1430th always answers the call. Your lineage carries the weight of those who came before you. Soldiers who understood that being an engineer isn't just about moving earth, it's about building security, building stability, and ensuring freedom. You're the ones who turn chaos into order, who make the impossible possible. And you will do that again on this deployment, I have zero doubt. All of you are ready for this, and your leaders have made you ready for this. You're trained for it, in the mud, in the cold, under the Michigan sky. You've run your equipment until the grease froze and your hands cramped, and then you ran it again. You've trained to shoot, move, communicate, medicate, sustain, fight, and win. You've run engineer missions and general purpose missions until it became muscle memory. That's what readiness looks like. So don't ever doubt your preparation, and don't ever doubt the soldier to your left or right. Hold them accountable. Don't ever underestimate your professionalism or part of the profession, U.S. Army. You have the skill, the discipline, and the heart to succeed. This mission is going to test you. Every deployment does, you know that. But I have no doubt you'll meet that test with the same competence, courage, commitment that defines this company and the Michigan Army National Guard. To the families here in the audience, the husbands, wives, fathers, children, parents, all the extended family and friends of the Michigan Army National Guard, and specifically the 1430th. Whether you know it or not, you too also serve. I see a unit, I see a uniformed body, and I see those behind them that are part of that service as well. And if you don't think you're serving, I mean, ask any military spouse about separation, right? About anxiety, about all those things, stress. Doesn't matter where you go, what you do. That's part of that service. And again, they didn't get here without you in their corner. When your soldier leaves home, I know you're going to carry the weight of that absence. Keep the lights on, the bills paid, the kids in school, the household keeps running. Nothing stops because they leave, and we know that. We also know that the bigger burden is the one you carry. You shoulder a quiet kind of courage that really doesn't get the press and doesn't make the headlines, but sustains us, and it's really the beating heart of the organization. Just know that from us I'm speaking for Sergeant Major Hopkins and myself, this entire chain of command. You're not in this alone. We have more resources for families than I can count, literally, whatever that is. If there's a hardship, do not suffer in silence. Please reach out, find your family readiness, call your commander, call one of us, and we will get you what you need. We owe you the deepest thanks for what you give, your patience, your strength, and your support. I know this will be a tough time, separation. It always is. But we're here for you as well. There's a lot of talk these days about what it means to serve and what patriotism really looks like. Well, I'll tell you what it looks like. If you look at this formation, it looks like a mechanic from Grayling, a carpenter from Traverse City, a student from Marquette, a father from Alpena, and every one of them, citizen soldiers, put their lives on hold to do this mission for their state and nation. And that is the spirit of the National Guard that's carried us through multiple conflicts, disasters, and every hardship you can imagine. It's the same spirit that held the line at Gettysburg, stormed the beaches of Normandy, part of the lineage of this battalion here, the 107th, and rebuilt villages in Kandahar. And now it's going to go back to the American Southwest where we've been before. Service is about people. It's about the mission. It's about doing what's right when it's hard and when no one's looking. And that's really all about discipline. And you, soldiers of the 30th, you embody that truth. So as you deploy, remember who you are. Remember where you came from and what you represent. You're soldiers of the Michigan Army National Guard and the United States Army. You are heirs to a proud and unbroken lineage and history, and a history of service dating back before the very founding of our nation. So carry that history with pride. Conduct yourselves with professionalism and humility. Look out for one another. Lead with discipline. You are part of a profession. Now you're going to go out there and demonstrate to everybody what that means. You're trained, you're ready, and we are behind you as a state and as a nation. To the families, I just want to let you know they're prepared. Your soldiers are prepared. I can't control weather, right? I can't control terrain, but I can control training, and they are ready for this mission. And they're gonna do you proud and serve with honor, no doubt. So the rest of the folks out there, know that your sons and daughters once again stand watch. I hope you have a great tour, soldiers of the 30th. God bless the United States of America, the Michigan Army National Guard. Always ready, always there. S.A. Arms.
Thank you, General Wall. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the commander of the 1430th Engineer Company, Captain Jonathan D. Warner.
Good morning, distinguished guests, senior leaders, family members, and friends, brave soldiers of the 1430th Engineer Company. It is my immense pride that I stand before you today to mark the beginning of our deployment. For months, we have trained tirelessly for this mission, and today we put that hard work into action. To the family members, loved ones, and friends here today, your sacrifice is not forgotten. You're the foundation of our strength. We know that while we serve on the southern border, you'll be here holding down the fort at home. Your unwavering support gives us the courage and the resolve to accomplish our mission. We're deeply grateful for your strength and your patience. To the soldiers of the 1430th Engineer Company, look to your left and right, see the resolve and the commitment of your teammates beside you. Your discipline, dedication, and professionalism have been on full display throughout your training. I have complete trust and faith in each and every one of you, knowing that you'll meet every challenge head on. As we move forward, we will focus on executing this mission with the highest standards. I am proud to lead this company. I am confident in our collective ability to succeed. Do your best every day and I promise to do the same.
Thank you, Captain Warner. At this time, General Wog will be presented with the State of Michigan flag to the deploying soldiers and their command team.
Yes, sir.
The passing of the flag signifies the trust that General Wog has placed in the command team to safely lead and care for their soldiers while deployed. This symbol will be proudly on display in front of the company command post throughout the deployment. Knowing their soldiers represent the finest Michigan has to offer, the state flag also serves as a reminder of the trust and confidence the state has placed in our brave soldiers while serving in federal operations. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please rise for the benediction and remain standing for the departure of the official party.
Lord God, we give you thanks again for today. We ask that you bless and protect the soldiers of the 1430th as they head out on mission. Please bless their families and friends they leave behind and keep them safe until their soldiers return. May you strengthen all of us in our resolve to complete the mission. May they rely on you, and may they rely on each other, just as iron strengthens iron. We ask this all in your most holy name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Once the 1430th has left the floor, you may meet your soldiers in the parking lot. Thank you to all in attendance today for taking part in this special occasion. To the 1430th, stay safe. Godspeed. From the ground up, as good as done. We'll see you upon your return. First Sergeant Priest, please take charge of the evening. Forward.